Everyone has a story. Mine is simple. I'm Candace Dixon, a food blogger and cocktail enthusiast. Bartenders not only have fascinating stories, but they seem to serve a greater purpose behind the bar.
So you know what? I actually kept him out of jail that night.
I'm on a quest in New York City to look into their world and quench my thirst for the most outrageous stories to be told.
So yeah, that was probably definitely one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me in the bar.
So, what's your story? Hey, we're at Clover Club, one of New York City's best cocktail bars in Carroll Gardens, Brooklyn. Today we're doing something a little different with Beverage director Tom Macy. He'll give us a taste of what it takes for bartenders to keep a large, ever-changing menu fresh and exciting. Also, he'll show his favorite cocktail, Peat Dragon. Let's take a look and see what he's doing today. Hey Tom, how are you?
Hey Candace, how's it going?
Great to see you.
You too.
Thank you. So I know that the Clover Club has a great reputation for having inventive drinks, yet staying true to the classic ones.
Yeah, we try to do that.
It's really great because your menu is so large. How many cocktails?
There's anywhere between 30 and 35 drinks on the menu.
That's so impressive.
That's a lot.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, I'm kind of in the mood for something unexpected. Do you have suggestions?
There's a lot to choose from. One of my favorites is a cocktail we have on the menu called the Peat Dragon, which is based on a classic Manhattan with a few variations, one of which is a little bit of really peaty scotch. So it has this cool smoke note, which I think is really interesting.
That sounds great. I would love to try it.
Awesome.
But where did the name come from? I like it.
It's just a silly pun, really. It's just Peat Dragon is the movie, and we spell P-E-A-T, like the peaty scotch.
I think it's great. I
We like
love
to have
puns.
fun.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I would love to try it.
Sounds good. This is the Peat Dragon. 2 1/4 ounces of bourbon. 1/4 ounce in there. 1/2 ounce of East India sherry. 1/2 ounce of sfumato Amaro, which is a smoked style of Amaro. 1/4 ounce of Blanc vermouth. And about 1/2 teaspoon of peaty scotch. We're using Compass Box Peat Monster. Give it a stir, 20 seconds or so. A little more ice in there. We've got a cool way we serve our stirred cocktails here. 2-part glass. And then an orange twist for a garnish. The Peat Dragon.
So Tom, thank you again for being able to sit down and chat.
Absolutely.
And I think it's really cool that we're able to get an idea of what bartenders go through, as opposed to, you know, getting stories about their job, but really what you go through, your thought processes, and, you know, creating drinks and everything. Mm-hmm. So most of your career has been here at Clover Club?
Yeah, I mean, entirely. I started here in 2009 as a barback, having never bartended anywhere before.
Wow.
Yeah, I was really into cocktails. I was working in a restaurant before, but I wasn't really invested in the sort of culinary aspect of things as some of my other coworkers were. But I eventually, just because the host stand was close to the bar at this place, and they had like a little cocktail menu. I just ended up picking the bartender's brain and, you know, trying the drinks, you know, going through the menu like with my shift drinks and stuff over time, and just kind of got into it. Started making cocktails at home and built a home bar, and once you start digging in, there's like a lot there.
Completely.
More than you ever really, you know, more than you ever realize. It's like you kind of knew a little bit about, oh yeah, old-fashioned Manhattan martini, but then you're like, what are these drinks? Oh, there's all these different versions. I have to try every one. And so I caught the bug big time. This was early 2010 was when I started bartending, and I think it was at a time when this industry really exploded. You know, at that point there was only like a handful of cocktail bars in the city. It was still a fairly insular community because there were so few bartenders that knew how to do this. a lot of them worked here. This was a really well-known bar, and so I worked under, just some of the top bartenders in the game. I mean, Katie
Fantastic.
Stipe and Giuseppe Gonzalez and Brad Farron, Nate Dumas,
Wow.
Nick Jarrett, Damon Dyer, Frankie Marshall. Like all of them are really well-known names. I mean, like sort of pillars of that era.
Of course.
And I came up under them.
So I'm sure with all of that experience, you have come across wonderful successes with creating different cocktails because of flavor profiles you all have. It's really, really creative and very intriguing.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, do you have maybe an example or two of really great, unbelievable successes that you thought were like, this is crazy?
Yeah, I was always interested in doing things I hadn't seen before. I was,
Okay.
I think, trying to be original was something I think we were definitely looking for back then. So yeah, it was, anything was on the table. Unquestionably, the drink that has far exceeded any expectations I ever had was this one called the Green Giant,
Okay.
which is a simple, based on a gin gimlet, but it has muddled sugar snap peas and tarragon.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's gotten some press, and it's been around for a while. So I think this was 2012. I think it was the first menu I put out when I was the head bartender. But I was just looking for things that I thought might be interesting, and I saw sugar snap peas, and I was like, sure, I'll try that. And I think tarragon too. I hadn't worked with that before. I was like, I'll try this. And then I just sort of threw them together, and it was like not a high concept thing. I just was like, maybe this will work, and it really did.
Well, I guess on the flip side, have you tried something that was like astronomical and you were like, that wasn't a good move?
With the success with the Green Giant, I was like, okay, what other crazy things can I do? And I was always sort of playing with the idea of savory and sweet. I think a lot of the new bartending, new cocktail era is doing a lot of that. I had success with like garam masala spice and carrot juice. I had a drink that was on the menu and was pretty cool. But then I also thought like barbecue sauce might be interesting because it has sort of like, because it's very savory obviously,
Yeah.
but it has like, there's usually some
It
sweetness.
got some sweet, yeah.
So I like went and just got some like craft barbecue sauce and like made like a whiskey sour with it. It's like, it was terrible. It was just so gross. I mean, it was, I think I made it, I did like a couple of versions and it was just like, well, there's no hope for this. I never tried that again.
Well, at least you tried it, right?
I tried, so now I know to never do it again. I would have tried it
Absolutely.
eventually.
With all that you know right now, what direction do you want to take the drink menu in the near future for Clover Club?
We're always trying to push forward. I mean, it's in the last few years, I think we've definitely shifted more towards thinking about what customers are actually interested in and starting from there, as opposed to just like thinking of crazy things that we think are interesting and trying to build off of things we've done before. Because like I said, everybody kind of gets it at cocktail bars, and I think they know what they like, and it just because, say, a pineapple margarita variation has been done before, doesn't mean people don't want it, So I've definitely been interested in bringing some of those more sort of classic, really delicious flavor pairings back onto the menu, whereas I think maybe 5-8 years ago, maybe we would have thought that was too pedestrian, so we can sort of do something for everybody.
That's fantastic. Well, I know that this drink menu is in good hands, and I look forward to tasting some more innovative ones from here.
We'll see what we can do.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.